Thanks, Tom and Sam. A question on methane. I personally get really sick of this big statement of agriculture's emissions, 17% of our emissions, and methane's the big problem. To my simple understanding, a hectare that's got sheep or cattle, ruminants, not being overgrazed but efficiently being grazed, yes, they're producing methane, CH4, but that still converts to water and CO2 that then still comes back. Do we have any idea what a livestock business net emissions might be? We keep hearing 17% of agriculture's, it's our 17% of our emissions. Well, what's the net number? And am I right in thinking that there is a cycle that's happening with ruminant production that people are forgetting about and laying unfairly blame on livestock?
Yeah, methane. There's a process called that, of course, the scientists and the people that get money for research are not going to tell you about because they won't get any money for research. There's a natural process called photooxidation. And basically what it is that the ultraviolet light creates a reaction between the water molecule and the ozone molecule. And you get two hydroxyls. And they're like quite highly active, radical, and they're looking for another hydrogen and they grab it from the methane. But they'll also they break down carbon monoxide as well. And because we're putting more of that up, well, that's taken away some of the hydroxyls that would break down the methane. But cows in an open paddock, especially if there's green grass and any transpiration happening at all, you're getting that much of these hydroxyls built. The methane coming out of those cows is going nowhere, and no one's ever measured that.
Can I ask another question? I just want to add into this that there is science going on this, and there's a group in Switzerland that have been funded that are doing something now that will come out with this to disprove the methane discussion. So it's not released yet because they're trying to get the peer review process, and then on that academic level, they're all struggling. They don't want to lose their grants. So there's quite a lot of problems with it, but they've proven already that it isn't what we're all hearing, but the farmers are going to be taxed on it. So it is problematic. The other thing to be aware of is that unlike Australia, a lot of people are doing things in high density situations, like 50% are grain fed and having things come in off the land, which isn't really, we do about 6% grain finishing, and it's not the same as the indoor high density production. So it's not apples for apples, which is really unfair. And there's a recent paper just came out about the bacteria released by trees that actually ameliorate the methane as well. And there's soil eating methane in the ground. So all the stats are done about an animal in a shed. And so if you're doing free-ranging grazing, it's very difficult because it isn't the same thing. And we're hoping the science will come out that we can then lobby against the governments with this. But obviously that would put places like Holland at a disadvantage, or the Dutch community, which are very, very big in running international. Anyway, I think you get the picture. I'll leave it at that. I'm getting too political.
I'll add to that. That process of photooxidation that makes the hydroxyls, up till 1990, that was keeping the methane at 800 parts per billion. And when Russia collapsed and there was all these fugitive oil and gas leaks, it went up. And the oil and gas industry didn't want the finger pointed at them, so they blamed the cows. That's what happened. And then the vegans have run with it or whatever. But that process is the hydroxyls are called the detergent of the atmosphere. And there's billions of tonnes of it made. And we're getting more methane from the tundra and all that. That's a big problem. But as far as blaming cows, just ridiculous. And sure, a feedlot with 100,000 head, you're going to have a column of methane going up. That's for sure. But cows out in the paddock, in fact, animals evolved to manage the grasses, and if we haven't got them doing their thing across our land, we won't get as much ozone produced to make the hydroxyls. So nature's, it's a typical, that's how nature works.